Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while I put out a video, so I am trying to fix that. I should make a follow-up video on why I have not been making videos in a while. But yeah, today I'm talking about the new language translator API, and it's relatively new compared to all of the web APIs you already use, especially being that browsers are now starting to support running local AI models or LLMs for you to build on top of. And this is one of the new APIs that is available as a result of having access to models running inside of the browser. So it's going to make it easy for you to build translation-based experiences using this API. And I wrote about it in the blog, but what I'm just going to do is show you how it works. I have a demo prepared to show you how it works. Then we'll look at the code and I'll show you how it's implemented so you can take this and use this for any project you are working on. So here is an example of this. And before going into the demo, the reason why this is so cool is because again, everything is running locally inside of the browser. So it means for anything you need to run a translation on, you don't have to make a request to the network to use an external service to get that piece of content translated and then returned back to the browser to be displayed. Like that round trip is totally eliminated. This is also more private because it's running on the user's browser. The model is downloaded inside of the user's browser. The inference happens inside of the user's browser. So data does not leave the browser or the user's device, which is great. And it's cool, like being able to use these models, like build experiences on top of these models for your users is actually just cool. So this is the demo, and it's a video player. This is a video player with captions or subtitles in English. So I think I have captions. Yeah. So this is set to English right now. Oh, I need to switch my browsers because this is not going to work in Firefox. Okay, cool. So I have opened up Google Chrome. Unfortunately, this API is not yet supported in Firefox. I have opened up the demo in Google Chrome, and I'm just going to check that we have the captions. Yeah, we have the captions in English, and I'll go turn that on. And when I go ahead to play this video, you see the captions in English, and that makes sense. What is cool here is that given the captions in English, you can actually generate a translation for this video or generate subtitles for this video in any language you fancy, like literally anything. For this demo, there are a couple test languages here. So let's select Japanese, for example. I click on the start button, and this loads the model. Runs the inference to translate the captions from English to Japanese. And now when I go into, okay, we already have Japanese selected now. When I go to play this video, you notice that the subtitles being displayed are in Japanese. And again, this happened all in real time. Like this was not saved somewhere in the database, or I did not need to use an external service. Like this translation happened in real time based on the provided subtitles in English. I'll just give this one more try in Spanish for Spanish speaking for friends. Looks like we have an error or something. Let's try French. Start. Okay, that's generated and we have French selected. And when I go play this, you notice that the subtitles are now in French, which was also generated in real time. So this is really cool. Like it's a really cool API. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to use this API, how it actually works and how it was used in the demo. So let's switch over to my editor and show you the basics of using this API. This API itself is actually quite simple. The first thing you want to do is check if the user's browser supports this API because it's quite new. It's based on LLMs running in the browser. Not every browser vendor supports this. For example, Firefox. So you want to check if the browser supports it. If I go back to the demo that was in Firefox and we tried to play this, Okay, so this is it. I tried to do a translation by hitting the start button. It's going to say the translator API is not supported. That's because I have a code in my implementation that checks to see if the translator API is supported and then shows the message if it is not. So you want to check if it's supported. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to check to see that the language pair, that is the source language and the target language pair, that the translator API supports translating between both languages. And this is going to return a couple of states. It's going to return an available state to let you know that, hey, if this is something you want to do, it's supported by the model and you can proceed to create a translator. It's going to tell you if it's downloadable, if it's already been downloaded, if it has downloading state, or it's also going to tell you if it's unavailable. I think there's an issue with my English to Spanish thing, but I don't think it's unavailable. I just think there's a bug or something somewhere. But if the translation from English to Spanish wasn't supported, it will tell you it's unavailable and you can display that in your application's UI. The next thing you want to do here, that's after checking the availability of the language pairs, is actually creating a translator instance, creating an instance of that class. You give it the source and target languages. Optionally, you can pass a monitor method that will help you figure out what the download progress of the model if it's the first time it's been downloaded. So this is going to be downloaded once on the user's browser and can be shared across any web apps that is taking advantage of this new translator API. So it's only going to be downloaded once, and then you can view the progress, download progress using this method. Hopefully, if you're planning to use this, some other app already downloaded the model for you, so that speeds up your translation time. But if not, I think the models are pretty small and can work well across devices. Then, after getting a translator instance, you can call the translate method and give it the source language text. So for example, we set the source language to English and we give it some text like hello world, and this is going to return konnichiwa, something else in Japanese that says hello world. And yeah, that's really how to use the Translator API. One last thing to keep in mind is that the Translator API also supports streaming, and this is essential for this is the implementation for using the streaming API. It's essential when you have a large block of text that you want to translate and you don't want to freeze the UI while the translation is happening in the background. So you can use the streaming API, and what this does is that it's going to split the large chunk of text. This can be something really large, like a book, for example, into chunks, translate them in chunks, and give you the translated chunks back in pieces or bits that can be displayed in the UI as soon as they are ready. So you can have it stream the source content, translate it in bits, and have the translated bits displayed on the UI, which is going to be a much better experience. So yeah, this is really cool. There's something I want you to take a look at. Of course, you have the source code for all of this on my blog. I'll leave a link to the article below if you like to take a look at this. But it's also worth mentioning that the Translator API works really well with the language detection API. So that's something you might want to take a look at if you're interested in being able to automatically figure out the source language and then use the Translator API to translate it to the target language. In some cases, you don't know what the source language is, so it makes sense knowing, like being able to figure it out using these models and then translating it to your target language. And this makes sense for applications like customer support, where you don't know the language the user is typing into your support channel, but you want it to be translated to a particular language for your customer support representative to consume that content and respond back to the user. So yeah, this has been it for this video. Get subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.